A superyacht is the single worst asset to own when the money runs out. You can't hide it. You can't turn it off. And what happens next is uglier than you'd think. But to understand how a $300 million yacht becomes everyone's problem, you need to see how the money falls apart. And it always starts the same way. The maritime industry has a simple rule of thumb. A superyacht's annual operating cost runs about 10% of its purchase price, every single year. So a $100 million yacht burns roughly $10 million a year just to exist. Crew salaries hit $2 to $4 million. Fuel at cruising speed runs 500 liters per hour. Docking at premium marinas costs up to $5,000 a night. Hull repainting every 2 years clears $1 million. None of this includes the owner actually using the yacht for anything enjoyable. A superyacht isn't a luxury purchase. It's a floating corporation that generates zero revenue. Pay attention to that number because it explains everything about what happens next. The decline always starts quietly. The hull repaint scheduled for spring gets pushed to autumn. The engine overhaul, the chief engineer flagged 6 months ago, gets tabled. The interior refit the owner promised charter guests? Quietly abandoned. On the surface, the yacht still looks fine to anyone walking past on the dock. But the people who work on these boats every day start noticing. Cheaper cleaning supplies. The crew food budget getting trimmed. Purchase orders for spare parts sitting unapproved for weeks. Then comes the crew reduction. A 20-person team quietly becomes 14. Then 10. The owner calls it restructuring. The captain calls it a red flag. The yacht stops moving. A vessel that once cruised the Riviera in summer and the Caribbean in winter is suddenly parked in one marina for 6 months straight. The excuse is always scheduling conflicts. But a yacht that doesn't move is a yacht whose owner can't afford to move it because moving means burning fuel, and fuel invoices are the first ones to get scrutinized. But here's the detail most people miss. Superyacht crew members live aboard. Their contracts are governed by the Maritime Labor Convention of 2006, ratified by most flag states. When an owner stops paying crew, it's not a simple breach of contract. It's a violation of international maritime law, and it happens far more often than the industry admits. During financial downturns, crew go 2 months, 3 months, sometimes 6 months without a paycheck. All while being reassured the money is coming next week. In many jurisdictions, crew can place a maritime lien on the yacht itself. The vessel gets legally detained in port until wages are paid. Picture a $150 million yacht held in a Greek harbor because the owner owes the chief stewardess 8 months of back pay. If you're wondering how that's even legal, so is everyone else. But it is. Eventually, crew start leaving. Not dramatically, quietly. One by one. The best ones go first because they have options. Other captains snap them up within days. The captain is usually the last to walk. And when the captain leaves, the yacht is legally dead in the water. No master on board means no certificate of compliance and no ability to move. Word spreads fast in this world too. Captains talk. Management companies keep informal blacklists. An owner who stiffs their crew will find it nearly impossible to hire quality staff again. And now you've got a $100 million yacht sitting in a premium marina with no crew, no captain, no insurance, and a stack of unpaid invoices getting taller by the week. That's when the real trouble starts. Marinas are businesses. Premium berths in Monaco, Fort Lauderdale, or Antigua generate millions in revenue per year. When a yacht owner stops paying, the polite reminders don't last long. Most marina agreements include lien provisions. The marina can place a possessory lien on the yacht. The vessel physically cannot leave the berth until the debt is cleared. Some marinas have literally chained yachts to the dock. The debts compound fast. Berth fees, electricity, water, waste removal, security. A yacht sitting in a premium marina for a year can easily rack up $500,000 to $1 million in unpaid fees. Fuel suppliers file their own liens. Maintenance companies file liens. Insurance gets canceled, which means the yacht can't legally sail even if someone wanted to move it. Then come the lawsuits. And because super yachts are often registered in one country, owned through a shell company in another, insured in a third, and physically docked in a fourth, the jurisdictional chaos is absolutely spectacular. A single yacht dispute can involve courts in the Cayman Islands, the UK, Greece, and the United States simultaneously. Lawyers love these cases. Everyone else despairs. Meanwhile, the owner is often nowhere near the yacht. They're in London, Moscow, or Dubai, trying to restructure their other assets while their floating liability burns through $50,000 a month just sitting at the dock. But this is where the story gets genuinely wild. Because when real banks, real governments, and real courts get involved, the seizures start making headlines. And the cases are stranger than anything you could make up. If you're finding this interesting, hit subscribe. We cover stories like this every week, and the next one involves the math behind private jets. You don't want to miss it. Everything we've covered so far sounds theoretical. So let's talk about real yachts, real owners, and real seizures. In 2022, the Axioma was sold at judicial auction for $37.5 million. The yacht belonged to Pyrenees Investments, a company linked to Russian industrialist Dmitry Pompiansky. When Pyrenees failed to keep up with loan repayments, the lender moved to seize and sell. The auction was held in Gibraltar. The entire process, from seizure to sale, played out in public. A $250 million asset sold at a steep discount while the world watched. And if that were the only case, you could chalk it up to one bad deal. The Superyacht, a 260-foot superyacht repossessed from a Saudi prince after he defaulted on financing. Credit Suisse, the bank that funded the purchase, seized the vessel and put it on the market. A $70 million yacht, listed for sale by a bank. Not a yacht broker, not a management company, a bank. But this next case is on another level entirely. The Alfa Nero was a $300 million plus Megayacht abandoned in the harbor of Antigua in 2022 by its Russian owner following international sanctions. The owner simply left. Walked away from a 269-foot yacht and never came back. The government of Antigua was stuck with it. The yacht sat there accruing over $100,000 per month in maintenance costs. The island nation couldn't afford to keep it and couldn't legally scrap it. Eventually, after a lengthy legal process, the government seized and sold the vessel. A country repossessing a yacht from an oligarch. You'd think that would be the strangest case on this list. It's not. Goldman Sachs, one of the biggest investment banks on Earth, repossessed the MY Natita after the owner went bankrupt. Goldman Sachs, chasing down a yacht. There's a sentence nobody expected to read in a financial filing. And then there's the Lady G, formerly known as the Elysium, seized in Spain following a court order. The owner, Ronald Gibbs, was ordered to repay $39.5 million to a Saudi princess. When the cash didn't appear, the yacht did. Seized by Spanish authorities and held as collateral. 5 yachts, 5 owners, 5 completely different financial disasters. And every single one of them ended the same way. The owner lost the yacht, lost millions, and lost control of the one asset everyone could see. So beyond the headline-grabbing seizures, what actually happens to these yachts? There are 4 outcomes, and none of them are kind to the original owner. The most common is a distress sale. The yacht gets listed at a fraction of its build cost. A $100 million yacht might sell for $30 to $40 million. The market knows when a seller is cornered. If the debts are severe enough, the yacht goes to judicial auction. Courts order a forced sale. These attract charter companies, speculators, and the occasional billionaire hunting for a bargain. The sale price is almost always well below market value. A third option is the shell company shuffle. The owner transfers ownership to a different entity to shield the asset from creditors. Legally gray. Constantly challenged in court. The reason maritime lawyers drive very nice cars. And then there's the worst outcome. Abandonment. The owner walks away. The yacht sits in a harbor in Turkey, Greece, or Southeast Asia, rotting. Paint peels, systems fail, the interior floods. In nearly every case, the owner takes a devastating financial loss. The $100 million symbol of success becomes a $30 million write-off and a $10 million legal headache. When the Alfa Nero's owner left that yacht in Antigua, it was probably supposed to be temporary. A pause while the sanctions blew over. That was 2022. The owner never came back. If you think yachts are a bad investment, wait until you see the math behind private jets. That video is on screen now.